Hi everyone, welcome back to our tour of Lakeview Cemetery. We are on part 4 of our tour here this evening. Again, my name is Catherine Mercer. I'm the Museum Education Coordinator for the Town of Windsor Museums, and so far we've learned about 3 different families here in Windsor that helped to shape our community. And we are here at our 4th and final stop today, which is the final resting place of Clarence W. Sabin, and we're going to also talk about his sister Mildred D. Sabin. Now, what you'll notice when you look at Clarence's name on here is that he says Clarence W. Sabin MD, which I love that he included the MD because he was our town doctor here in Windsor for many decades. Many of you might actually remember Dr. Sabin here in town. So he was a very, very well-known doctor, and the story of how he became our town doctor is kind of interesting, and also his sister Mildred helped shape our community as well. So Clarence was actually born in 1896 in Manchester, Iowa, and he was born as one of 6 children on a farming family, on a farm there in Iowa. He attended school in a one-room schoolhouse, and he had to help nearly full-time on his parents' farm growing up, but he really highly valued education and learning, so he applied himself to his studies. We know that he loved Shakespeare and memorizing Shakespeare, and he also taught himself around the age of 14, he taught himself how to speak and read Latin. So he was a very intelligent person. He then became a teacher because he really wanted to go to school, but his family didn't have money for it. So he became a teacher to get money to go to school, and then he went to medical school at the University of Nebraska College of Medicine. He was lucky because he graduated in 1928, which was the year before the Great Depression hit. So he was able to find work. And we have a photo of him around that time with his brother Milo. So we have Milo Sabin on the left and Clarence on the right in front of the train in this photo. Looking very dashing in their hats there, I think. So after graduating, he interned in Tulsa and he got a job working as a doctor in Greeley. But during one of his days off, he came here to Windsor and visited our community and decided this is the place that I want to be. I want to put down roots here and I want to become the Windsor town doctor. So he really fell in love with our community and decided that he would move here in 1932. He did not choose the best weekend to move here in Windsor in 1932. He chose the weekend of Harvest Festival, which was as busy in 1932 almost as it is today. All the streets were blocked off for the parade as he got here in town. There was no parking. He couldn't get into his office on Main Street, and he had to just kind of wait for a while before he could get anything done. So that was his welcome to Windsor, was the Harvest Festival parade in 1932. And his very first office was located in the Windsor Hospital, which is still around today, just off the corner of 5th and Main Street in Windsor. You can go by and see it today. It's used as apartments now. And then he relocated to an office on Main Street just south of the bank. He preferred to be called by his patients Uncle Henry because he thought that that sounded more friendly than Dr. Sabin. And he was known as a very cheerful and benevolent and just happy man who made his patients feel better and really had a good bedside manner and way about him as he was treating patients. He's also known for delivering over 1,000 babies here in Windsor. Maybe you are one of those babies, but he delivered over 1,000, and he was known for having photos of them plastered on his office walls in his office, photos of almost all the kids that he helped give birth to. He loved being a doctor, but the other thing that he loved was Windsor High School football. He did not miss a football game in almost 50 years. He actually lent one of his rifles and was known for firing it off at the start of Windsor football games here in town. And the other thing he was interested in was the sugar beet industry. So even though he was a doctor, a lot of his patients were sugar beet farmers or involved in the sugar beet industry, and he ended up visiting the sugar beet factory in 1932 during his first year here in Windsor. He toured the factory, he was interested in the process, and he would go and visit the factory again and again and again to watch the sugar beets being turned into sugar. At the beginning of the 1934 campaign, he asked the superintendent of the factory if he could blow the official whistle to kick off the campaign that year, and they let him, and it became an annual tradition from 1934. until the sugar factory closed in 1967. He blew that whistle every single year to start the campaign off. He only missed it twice, once when he was traveling and the other time when he was ill. And when he was ill, his sister Mildred stood in for him to blow the whistle. So I have a photo here of Clarence Sabin at his desk in 1927, shortly before he arrived here in Windsor. It's a very nice doctor there, remembered by many Windsor people very fondly, along with his sister, Mildred. So I have a photo here of Mildred. We have a lot of photos of Mildred. She was very glamorous in her youth, so I have a photo of her here. Love that hairstyle. But she has kind of an interesting story of how she ended up leaving an impact here on Windsor as well. So she arrived here in Windsor, she followed her brother Clarence, and got here about a month after he came here to Windsor to open his doctor practice. Now unfortunately, that was in 1932 during the Great Depression. She was also a very intelligent woman, highly valued education just like her brother, and she had just completed a music education degree from the University of Southern California. So she graduated right in the middle of the Great Depression, could not find work, had the hardest time finding a job. Nobody wanted to hire a music teacher during the height of the Great Depression. So she ended up coming here to Windsor because she basically couldn't find a job. So she moved in with her brother. She worked as her brother's assistant, but then realized that she could teach piano lessons. And she began to teach these lessons and gave multiple lessons every single day, and she would teach for the next 60 years. So she taught generations of children how to play the piano here in Windsor, and was very beloved as a piano teacher. She was also very adventurous. So she was known for her fashion, for her style, and for traveling across the United States on different adventures. So I have this photo taken in the 1930s of Mildred. And then I'll show you this photo as well, just because I love her coat in it. She's so glamorous. So she continued to teach piano here for over 60 years, became renowned in Windsor for her music. And she and her brother Clarence lived in a 1916 bungalow at 620 Main Street that is still there today. So I have a photo of her here in her 90s. She still taught piano into her 90s. And when she was interviewed in 1988, shortly before her 90th birthday, she still had 5 students at that time, and she was quoted in the newspaper as saying, "I would hate to not have to work." So she loved piano, she loved traveling, and she loved her students here in Windsor. She also loved cats. At one point she had over 24 cats in her house. So she was quite the lady living there at her house with her brother. When she passed away in 1998, 1998, she was over 100 years old. Clarence died 8 years before her on September 27th, 1990, and he was 94. So a very long-lived pair of siblings, and very, very close to each other. Neither of them ended up marrying. They did live together in that house for their entire lives, as Clarence was the doctor and she was the town music teacher. So thanks to their decision to come here to town, they really ended up shaping the community. Clarence, with his excellent medical care that he provided, his love for the Windsor High School football team and the sugar factory and kicking off that sugar beet campaign, and Mildred by teaching hundreds of students here in Windsor how to teach the piano. So because they chose to move here, they ended up really helping to shape our community well into the 20th century.
Well, thank you, Catherine, for your knowledge and wonderful stories about our early settlers of Windsor. And we look forward to some more, maybe next year.
Yes, definitely.
If not, join the cemetery tours that are put on by Catherine through the Arts and Heritage Council.
Yes, thank you.